Coffee is a morning ritual for millions around the world, but it's not just about waking up, it's also about the little boost that gets us through the day. But how much is too much when it comes to caffeine? Today, we're diving into the science of caffeine, its benefits, its risks, and when you might be pushing your limits. So let's start with the good news. Moderate caffeine consumption, particularly from coffee, has been associated with several health benefits. Studies suggest that consuming 200 to 400 milligrams of caffeine per day, which is roughly 2 to 4 cups of coffee, can improve focus, enhance physical performance, and even reduce the risk of certain diseases. And coffee is more than just a caffeine hit. It's loaded with antioxidants which help protect your cells from damage. According to research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, regular coffee consumption is linked to a lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes, Parkinson's disease, and even certain types of cancer. These benefits are largely attributed to the antioxidants in coffee, which help neutralize harmful free radicals in the body. So your daily coffee habit might actually be doing you some good. But like most things, too much of a good thing can turn bad. When caffeine consumption exceeds 400 milligrams per day, it can start to have negative effects. At this point, you might experience side effects like insomnia, nervousness, restlessness, and a rapid heart rate. For some, even lower doses can trigger these symptoms, especially in those who are sensitive to caffeine. According to the Journal of Psychopharmacology, consuming more than 500 to 600 milligrams of caffeine, which is around 5 to 6 cups of coffee, can lead to what's known as caffeineism. This condition is characterized by anxiety, restlessness, and symptoms similar to panic attacks. Numerous clinical studies have explored the effects of excessive caffeine consumption. A study published in Food and Chemical Toxicology found that consuming 600 milligrams of caffeine or more per day can increase the risk of cardiovascular problems such as high blood pressure and heart palpitations. Furthermore, research in the New England Journal of Medicine suggests that high caffeine intake during pregnancy is linked to an increased risk of low birth weight and preterm birth. This is why it's recommended that pregnant women limit the caffeine intake to less than 200 milligrams per day. Now, let's talk about the extreme end of the spectrum, the lethal dose of caffeine. While it's incredibly rare to consume a lethal amount of caffeine through drinks alone, it's still important to be aware of the potential dangers. According to toxicology studies, the estimated lethal dose of caffeine, known as the LD50, I'll explain more about this in a moment, is approximately 150 to 200 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. So for an average adult weighing around 70 kilograms or about 154 pounds, that's roughly 10,000 to 14,000 milligrams of caffeine. Now, LD50 is a standard measurement used in toxicology to indicate the dose of a substance that is expected to cause death in 50% of a test population. The test population usually consists of animals like rats or mice, but the concept is used to estimate human toxicity as well. In the context of caffeine, the LD50 refers to the amount of caffeine that, when consumed, would be lethal to 50% of a group of test subjects. The LD part stands for lethal dose, and the 50 represents the 50% of the population that is expected to be affected. Now, in practical terms, that would mean consuming about 100 cups of coffee in a very short period. So with this in mind, I think most people are pretty safe. That said, caffeine supplements or highly concentrated energy drinks could make it easier to approach this dangerous level. This is why it's crucial to be mindful of all sources of caffeine in your diet. In fact, just last year, the supplement brand MX issued a product recall through Home Bargains on a popular protein product of theirs that, if you followed their advised daily dosage, would deliver a ridiculous 10,000 milligrams of caffeine due to a manufacturing defect that went unnoticed. And for your information, if you take any MX supplements, check your cupboards to make sure you don't have any MX Ultra Muscle in strawberry flavour. It's 1.5 kilogram format with batch codes W110429, W110430 and W110431 and a best before date of March 25. If you have any of this, do not consume it. Throw it away and contact the retailer you bought it from or return it. So in moderation, caffeine can be a helpful boost to your day and even offer some surprising health benefits. But it's important to know your limits. Stick to the recommended daily intake, be cautious with supplements, and listen to your body. Every person has a different sensitivity to caffeine, so it's really about understanding your own thresholds and sticking within these. So how much caffeine is too much caffeine? Generally, you want to be sticking at or below 4 cups of coffee per day, assuming you don't take any other significant sources of caffeine like supplements or energy drinks. If you do, you perhaps should limit coffee intake further, or better yet, maybe cut out the energy drinks and caffeine supplements since they really aren't needed if you're a coffee drinker to begin with. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like the content, please go ahead and like this video and subscribe below for more health related content. Thanks for watching.